we're going to start learning how we could estimate volume using everyday objects. Which kind of sounds a little bit funny, but it can be fun if you guys are able to try this at home. The Investigate, again, this is something that is optional. If you're able to do it, the Investigate would be great. If you look at the essential question for the day, how can we use an everyday object to estimate the volume of a rectangular prism? What we did yesterday and the day before was we were counting cubes. So sometimes what you can do is you can estimate how much space an object takes up by using something else that's a physical object. So this Investigate is about Izzy. Izzy. Spelled differently, but that's okay. Izzy mailing 20 boxes of crayons to a children's education organization overseas. She can pack them in one of two different size shipping boxes. Using crayon boxes as a cubic unit, about what volume is each shipping box in crayon boxes? Which shipping box should Izzy use to mail the crayons? If you guys think back to, I think that you start learning measuring things like as early as like pre-K and kindergarten. But if you remember, you first learn about measuring in being able to use things around you. So the idea is that you don't always have to use a ruler or, a scale to measure something. So, for example, here's my pencil. My pen, good thing I can speak today. And if I feel like I want to measure my paper and I don't have a ruler, I can say, well, let's see how long this is in pen lengths, right? So here's 1, 2. My paper is approximately 2 pen lengths. I'm sure you remember doing that. You may have gone home and used a shoe to measure something or any object you could have found. So it's the same idea here where we're going to be basically, of course, it's just estimating because it's not exact, but using something else to approximate the volume of something. So if you're able to do this, I would definitely say out of all of the Investigates, try this one because you can use an everyday object. You can use, if you have a box of crayons at home, you can use it, or you can, you can use literally anything that's a box. So it could even be actually a book, because a book is the shape of a rectangular prism. And you can get a box. It could be like a shoe box. It could be a large box. It could be an Amazon Prime box that I'm sure your moms have in your house somewhere. And you can check out how many times you'd be able to fit that box of crayons or book inside that box. And once you do that, you can compare the two boxes and see which one would hold more. So you don't have to, of course, use crayon boxes. This could be just for fun. You don't even have to answer the questions. It's just to investigate and see how volume can be looked at using an everyday object. Okay, so let's move along. If you're able to do that again, please, I would love to see pictures. Okay, so this is, of course, supposed to be done after you do the Investigate. So we're gonna make do, but this crayon box has a length of 3 inches. Let me just show you. That would be this way. Okay, this is the length. And it's 3 inches. And it has a width of 4 inches. That's this way. And a height of just 1 inch, right? It's just one little cube. So what would be the volume? So we do the same thing we did yesterday. We'll look at one row and then multiply it. And you can look at it any way. You can look at it this way or this way, whatever you want. I see 3 in this row, and I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 3. So that's 3 times 4, which is 12. So my volume is 12 cubic inches. If you went this way, you would see 4 times 3. Either way, you get 12. So now, here's the idea. We're going to use this little crayon box and estimate the volume of this box in cubic inches. So what they've done is they've showed us a picture, and this is how it's going to be throughout the lesson. They're going to give us a picture. They're going to tell us the volume of the object. Then they're going to give us a picture of how many of those objects can fit inside, and we're going to use the volume and how many are in here to find the approximate volume of the whole box. So let's take a peek. How many crayon boxes are in each layer? So in each layer I can see, now this picture is not the best, but I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 crayon boxes in one layer. So the box to the right holds 4 crayon boxes in each of the layers. Now how many layers are there? Again, this is a terrible picture, I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers. So, probably would have made more sense to go this way. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, so there's 5 layers of crayons and there's 4 in each, right? So just like I've been doing all along, that's 4 times 5, which is 20. So there's 20 crayon boxes. So now what we're going to do is, if we know each crayon box has a volume of 12 and there's 20 of them, we're going to multiply the volume by how many boxes there are. So the volume is 12. I'm going to multiply it by the total number of boxes that fit inside, which is 20. 12 times 20. So remember the little tricks I've taught you all year? Pretend like that 0 is not there. 12 times 2 is 24. And add the 0 back on. So the volume of the whole box is approximately 240 cubic inches. Okay? So let's talk through the steps one more time. You have the volume of the object. You see how many of those objects fit inside. You multiply the volume by how many objects there are inside, and you get your answer. Okay? So this is it for today. Let's take a look at the share and show. What we have here are tissue boxes, okay? And they're telling us that each tissue box has a volume of 125 cubic inches. Let's see how many tissue boxes there are in here. My picture is not the best. If you have your textbook or you have the PDF or something in front of you, it's going to be a little bit better, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tissue boxes. So we want to estimate the volume. So what we're doing is we're going to take the volume of one tissue box and multiply it by how many there are. So they already filled that part in for us. We have 9 of them. So we're doing 9 times 125. We're going to take it over here, 125 times 9. I apologize for this. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry your 4. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Carry the 2. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 more is 11. 1,125 is your volume. Okay, so you guys can pause this and try 2 and 3, and then unpause to see the answers. Okay guys, so for number 2, if you take a look, they're telling us the volume of each of these chalk boxes is 16 cubic inches. So I look at my first layer and I see that there's 6 in there, and I notice that there are 4 layers, so altogether 6 times 4, there's 24 chalk boxes. So to find the volume, what I do is I take the 24 and multiply it by the volume, and that gave me 384 cubic inches. For number 3, this picture was kind of hard to see, but they are telling us that a small jewelry box has a volume of 30 cubic centimeters. So when I count, I see that there's 10, but there's only one row, so I don't have to multiply anything. It's just 10 of them. So to find the volume, I'm doing 30, which is the volume of 1 times 10, which is how many there are. So using the 0 trick, I just do 3 times 1, and then I add the 2 zeros on at the end, and find that the volume is about 300 cubic centimeters. All right, so that's it for today, guys. If you have trouble seeing the picture, just do your best approximating. Usually you can tell where they're separated, so it should be okay. All right, have fun.